Well, let me ask you about the front bench. I think it's always dangerous to leave Barnaby Joyce on the back bench. Are you happy there, or do you want to be on the front bench?
Who's on the front bench? That's another thing I don't know.
You don't know. Would you like to be, though? Do you expect to be?
Laura, I'm I'm a betting, and I don't think the odds are good.
No?
Well, but Laura, I'm just being factual. It's one thing I've done in my career is try to be straight with people. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be on the front bench. How's that?
You don't want to?
Well, Laura, it's not whether I want to. It's not my choice.
No, but I mean, you can still. I mean, you're in Parliament for a reason. You got there with a huge support of your constituency. I mean, it's whether you feel like you have more to give or whether you just want to be a local MP, and both of those are fine.
I've got more to give, and I'm doing that all the time. Make no mistake about that. The moment I don't want to give any more, I'll get out. I've got a lot more to give, and you try to be straight and say to the Australian people, we have a big task ahead of us. We've got China breathing down our neck. You've got erratic policy coming out of the United States. You've got, people who, like, the cost of living didn't go away at the election. There's still poor people being smashed. And right at the corner of this, right underneath, it's this policy called net zero, which, by the way, Laura, the majority of the world, the population of the world is not participating in it. And the majority of the global economy is not participating in it. Yeah. So what are we trying to prove? It's just a virtue statement of no effect.
Oh, sure. I agree with that to a point, but there are economic consequences of not signing up to net zero or abolishing them.
No, this is another factor. What are these economic consequences?
Okay,
can we get some literature? Can we get some literature behind them rather than statements?
Well, this is the one that I'm thinking of. It's not literature that's required, but the European Union, for example, has said that there'd be, a tariff on goods if for countries that don't sign up to net zero. I mean, that's a real economic consequence, right?
Oh, boy, that tariff thing worked well for them, didn't it? The old United States. Boy, every time I watch the Europeans, I say, please, we want more tariffs. No, come on.
Well, sure, it might be a game of chicken, but I'm just pointing out that they are the consequences.
The game of chicken didn't work too well with them. I tell you what, I think the Europeans should be very careful suggesting that they want tariff wars.
Yeah, I do too. Let's try our final one here. I mean, you said that, it's been a chaotic week. You don't think it'll get better, but I mean, how important is it for the Nationals then to pull together? What's your role, do you think, in making sure that this doesn't turn into an absolute S show and in supporting David Littleproud to be the best leader he can be?
I think that I did that straight away. I was straight on the phone with Susan Lee, with others, and trying to sort it out, and I think we did a good job. We did sort it out.
Yeah. How do you support David?
I'll support the leader as best I can. I think I've been doing that. I'll support the leader of the National Party because that's what, that's the job I do. But that doesn't mean every policy. If you come out and say, that means you have to support net zero. No, I don't, because it's bad for Australia, because it hurts poor people, because we're not achieving it. Because the majority of the globe's not participating in it. Majority of the economy's not participating in it. Yeah. People are pulling out one after the other. Even New Zealanders are pulling out. I mean, we're going to be virtuous and lonely.
Sure. You've still got to win elections, though. For the Liberals, it probably would be hard to do that in the city. So how do you
I don't think so. That's another thing. We got to swing towards us here in New England.
Yeah, that's not the city, though.
Yeah, but there's 70,000 people in Tamworth. Laura, it's bigger than most of your suburbs.
No, I'm not discounting that. I'm just looking at, the arithmetic of where you've got to win seats.
Well, Laura, so to make Bellevue Hill happy, we have to bugger up everywhere else. Is that how it works now?
No, but it's an electoral reality of, where the votes are going, what young people under 40, where they're voting for independence, their priorities. I mean, I agree that they're not the priorities of the people of Tamworth, but there is an electoral reality to these kind of things.
I just think the electoral reality must be vastly different to the electoral reality of so many other countries in the world who've just pulled out of this. I mean, are we a different species of human being? Or you got to rise to the challenge of explaining to people the damage this is doing. And even in Sydney, I might remind people in Sydney, just off your coast in the Tasman Sea, the Chinese were doing live fire exercises. That's practicing to attack. That's practicing how their guns work. Now, if that doesn't ring a bell and start saying, let's reorganise the priorities here, folks, then I don't know. What else do you want? You want to come into Sydney Harbour? Will a penny drop then?
Perhaps. Well, it's good to talk to you, and thanks so much for making the time as always, Barnaby. Spicy this morning.
Sorry, I was too elevated. I should be a bit more quiet. Less coffee, but less coffee.
No, you never apologise for being too much, ever. We'll see you soon.